Today we talk volleyball, a sport that dominated our household for a decade and continues to this day to impact the lives of our family. What is a funky monkey? We'll tell you here pretty soon. Background noise, the Henson Family Podcast starts right now. All right. Welcome back to the podcast. Thanks for listening. We've got another full house with us today. Let me introduce the crew. Amy.
Hello.
The sweet wife. Then let's go to Angela Kate.
Yay. Hi.
And then let's go to Anna.
What's up?
Dog.
Dog.
Anna's here she's still in town from visiting from Lidditz, and she's getting ready to head out to Europe next month with Metallica on their tour. And we were glad she was able to come in and see us before she left. And then last but not least,
I'm just Audrey.
Audrey Ray is here.
Audrey Ray.
Speaking of funky monkeys. All right. Before we get into that, how's everybody doing?
Doing well. It's been a good week.
Yeah.
Loving the weather. Going out on the patio.
I really enjoy not running our air conditioner. Can everybody give a high five on that? Isn't that great?
No, ours is out. Wait, what? Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
In the apartment?
Mm-hmm.
Since when?
Yeah, when did
Yesterday. Oh, I didn't know that.
during last night or like during the day?
Middle of the day.
Okay.
Mm.
So she opened up an urgent ticket since they
Anna,
haven't-
you walked in yesterday and you were like, "It's hot in here." And I didn't think anything of it.
I see. I was just letting you know. You're welcome.
Wait, is that for like the whole complex that it happens, or is it just your room?
probably
or do
just
you
their
know?
unit.
Yeah, probably just our unit. Interesting.
Anna was wanting to communicate to you. Your apartment feels like mom and dad's house.
Mm-hmm.
It's warm.
Should not be.
Yeah. So, okay. So, what's wrong, Angela?
Am I going crazy, or do I still hear music? Yeah, I hear it. Oh, okay, that's what
Oh.
it was.
Yeah, that's unfortunately going in the background.
I did not know. I was like, am I going nuts?
We'll just roll with it.
I didn't turn down the fader all the way, and so yeah, that's going to be an editing task for me. So should be easy.
I say just leave it. It
I
adds
think-
character.
I'm telling you, go with
Actually, it's
the flow.
After I wash this audio through all the stuff that I normally do, you're never going to hear anyway. So.
Okay, well, let's get on. then.
Anyway, so all right. So today we are talking club volleyball, a topic or a sport that's dominated our dominated our house for well over a decade, and I guess volleyball and how we got into volleyball. So we had a friend of ours, Liffy Skinder, invite Audrey to play in a rec league, and the name of the team was the Funky Monkeys.
That's
And
right. I think, Audrey, you were in 5th grade
Mm-hmm.
and was into basketball. And so you wanted to play volleyball. That was good.
Yeah, I was
So-
actually really surprised when you said yes, you wanted to try it out because
Yeah.
you're kind of a recluse, you know.
Mm.
I'm not meaning that in a bad way, but I was just kind of surprised that
I
you
don't
were-
like getting into uncomfortable things.
Yeah, I
I've
mean,
never done.
I know, and you've never done this, so
You're our reserved kid.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you started playing with the Funky Monkeys and in a youth league, and you kind of liked it. And so then I think after that season was over, that was more of a rec team. And so then
It was definitely a wreck.
it was definitely a rec team. Oh, those socks! Just thinking about those socks. And
Yeah, that's right.
the
Turtle knee
turtle shell knee pads.
Polka
Every-
dot
everything
knee-high
was
socks.
everything was cheetah.
cheetah
big cheetah
spandex
print.
bows. The bows in the hair.
But you
Yeah.
had fun.
Mm.
You really liked it. It was fun, and you were good. It was fun watching you play.
So then the next step was to move up to what they call a competitive team in this league that we were at, and I can't remember the name of that team. Do you-
Fusion.
Fusion. So that was more of a competitive team, which it was.
Yeah, still in the rec league,
Yeah,
but
that same
hmm
through the same organization, but on more of a competitive level. And so you would have practices up at the facility. Lone Star was the facility that we were at, and so I think you caught the eye. Well, let me stop. You were doing the competitive league, and this is 2011, I think, and you were really enjoying it and liking the sport. So we thought about getting you some lessons,
Mm-hmm.
and so then we set you up some lessons for hitting. And I guess this was my first, you know, growing moment in volleyball. So we set up lessons with you with Coach Jacob. We all know Jacob. And I remember telling when we booked the lesson, we wanted to go over hitting. We wanted you to hit, wanted to teach you how to hit. And so the whole first half, this is an hour lesson, the whole first half, he's having you pass the ball. And so when y'all were when you were shagging balls one time, I was like, Jacob, hey, I'm not, don't mean to interrupt, but we kind of thought this was going to be more of a hitting, and he's hitting lesson. And his words were, and of course I'm paraphrasing, if you want to be a good hitter, you got to learn to be able to pass first. And didn't make any sense to me at first, but now that I've spent years in the volleyball world, I know exactly what he's talking about. So, but I think you kind of caught his eye, and then he kind of passed your name on to Skip, Coach Skip, who was building a club team at the time there at Lone Star.
I would like to also say Audrey is very tall for her age at this time, therefore also caught their eye because of that.
Oh, okay, yeah, she was tall for her age, and so Jacob, kind of talked to Skip, and I don't know if he watched some of your lessons or whatever, but anyway, may have probably caught some of your games in the league, and then we found out that he was looking at you for maybe his team. And when Mom and I were looking at the descriptions of club volleyball, they had like metro teams, regional teams, national team, and thing. And we were thinking, yeah, that'd be kind of cool if she made a metro team. We could do a family trip down to, I think they went down to Houston for Houston Cross Courts tournament, and thinking, yeah, we'd just take a family trip down to Houston. And no, that wasn't the deal. He was looking at you for the national team, so which involved
Out of state travel.
Out of state travel, yeah. So yeah, you ended up getting invited to be on Skip's team, and that's kind of where we started. And Amy, do you want to comment on any of that?
Yeah, I do remember that. Because these clubs, they'll that's how they will, I guess, designate the different teams. They'll just give them a name, and so national, elite, those those sort of names. And so when we heard national team, we're like, whoa, are you kidding? Audrey, how fun, so so that was kind of new, jumping from Funky Monkeys to a national team.
That
So
was actually pretty good.
yeah,
You were pretty good,
yeah.
as you would say. The best free ball. What is it?
I was 13s.
I know, but overall,
Oh.
you consider yourself the best free ball person, or what was it you called? Designated yourself?
Oh, like out of system passing
Yeah,
or setting?
yeah. I think Angela might have a little competition for you there.
No, I definitely got her beat.
Nope.
And on a system passing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
I
got you feeling like,
don't know about
nuh-uh.
that one. Yeah.
You maybe mixed it up to the pins every now and then, but mine was more accurate.
And anyway.
Okay, so anyway, so that was the 12s year. That was Audrey got on the top 12s team there at Lone Star, and we traveled to Atlanta for that qualifier. So that was our first national qualifier that we'd been to, and first time traveling. I got to admit, it was so much fun. The one thing I don't care for in club volleyball is the expense, and it's gone up ever since. But that's another topic. But so then 12 season ends. You do qualify, go to nationals, and still don't like the Sunshine Volleyball Club anyway, because of that loss. I still feel bitter about that. But anyway, Anna and Angela saw how much fun you were having, and of course they would go to these club tournaments as well, and so then they decided, hey, we want to play too, and so they both tried out, made club teams, and just like that, we've got our club expenses got multiplied by 2 or 3. So, yeah, there's that.
And our extra spending money went
Out the window.
down.
Yes, out the window. And
Vacations were qualifiers.
yes, vacations were qualifiers and nationals.
Angela, I don't remember, how old were you when you got your first club team?
Are we considering preps a club? Okay.
Yeah.
I was 7. So I was on a preps team, which was
11s.
11s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, the girls were 11. They didn't have an official 11s age group then, but so y'all played in the 12s, but
Yeah, they
when you were
played in
7.
12U. So we had Angela starting off at that age, and then Anna starting off at
11s.
an 11s team, and then that's when Audrey was in. I
It's
think
13s.
that was 13's year,
Yeah.
and so
And that was 13s was probably another big change for at least for North Texas region teams or clubs, because nationals was here in Dallas that year, and the thought between amongst the club directors was because normally teams would only travel out of state once in trying to get their bid to go to nationals, and so they thought, well, since nationals is going to be in Dallas and we won't have the expense of traveling to that trip, why don't we go out of state twice, for multiple qualifiers? And ever since, it's just kind of grown, and teams just go out of state more and more, and it just adds to the cost of club volleyball. So, speaking of qualifiers, so between you three, what would you say is your favorite qualifier? I'm going to ask you, what is the best city, the favorite city you visited, and then what's your favorite qualifier? They don't have to be the same.
we
Well,
said the same thing.
favorite qualifier would be Reno
Why?
that I've been to.
Was that based on how y'all did as a team, or you just
No, just
liked the way it
the-
was run and
I like
the city?
the city.
The city. Okay.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Yeah, I went there once. It was nice.
Yeah.
You weren't in the downtown area,
Yeah.
so
I think a close second would be Jacksonville, but that was only 18s.
yes, I
in
remember
Florida.
that. They had that was a good facility. It was over there by the coast,
Mm-hmm.
and so
And then favorite city would be, y'all probably gonna disagree, but I'm gonna say New Orleans. I knew you were gonna say that.
okay,
Because there's real pretty parts to it, but if you're in the wrong area, it's not very good.
okay. Angela, what about you?
I would say my favorite qualifier was MEQ, which is Mid East qualifier.
And is that based on
I think it's just the most competitive.
just how you did?
Where is
Yeah.
your
MEQ?
teams?
It was either, I think it's usually Indianapolis still or St. Louis. St. Louis.
The younger ages are in St. Louis,
It-
and then
okay,
as you got
well.
older, they moved them in Indy.
Okay.
Okay.
But it was just the most competitive because there's a lot of really good teams in the Mid East region, and then a lot of teams from Dallas in this area would also go there.
Okay.
City wise, maybe Spokane. I like Spokane.
Oh yeah,
And I only went there once, but it was pretty.
yeah.
I've been there once, I think.
I think
Mhm.
all the years we
It
have
was
done
pretty.
club volleyball, we've had 2 tournaments, one for Audrey, one for Angela. But I did like Spokane.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Anna. What about you?
Favorite qualifier was in Orlando, I think. We did really good at
yeah.
that one.
Yeah,
I never
And it was
got
just
to go to
kinda cool.
Orlando.
I think one time
Yeah,
went
it
to
was the only
Orlando.
one, and it was me.
of all the
But-
kids. Yeah,
I don't know. I thought that one was fun.
it was fun.
But probably my favorite city, because we did absolutely terrible, was Chicago. Do you remember that?
I
That
do,
surprises
but
me.
Chicago was really fun.
I love that where we were
We
located.
had so much
too.
free time because we got knocked out so early. I think we were in like the nickel bracket. We did so bad, but it worked out in the sense of like we got to like go do a bunch of things then. And
Yeah,
I remember because like, Mom, do you remember when me and you went to like that pizza place?
absolutely.
And Audrey, I think it was Audrey, or was it Angela?
I never
One
got
of
to go
them-
to Chicago.
well, one of y'all was having another qualifier going at the same time,
It
and
was
y'all were
Angela.
and then like I think y'all were like competing for a bid.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
And me and Mom had like the live stream going while we were eating
Eating
pizza at
pizza.
this restaurant.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and I think in Chicago we stayed in that part. It was called like some 5 mile.
It was a really nice
Um,
part
I don't know.
next
It
to
kind
the
of had a
lake.
name where this certain little section. It was really nice by the lake, and yeah, that was good. I was a chaperone. Yeah.
I
was
remember you
the-
mentioning Chicago
Yeah.
over and over again that you liked it.
Uh-huh.
It was the Hilton. Y'all stayed in the Hilton that they filmed The Fugitive in, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Ooh, I gotta add one.
What?
I
Like
really like
city
Kansas
wise?
City.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Well, at least the part that we stayed in.
Okay.
Oh wait, the one time. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
The one time
Yeah.
that we went as
Mhm.
coaches. Okay, that was.
We stayed in like a
nice.
higher end part of Kansas City, so it's not
Dude.
sketchy.
Yeah.
Dude, it was crazy. With the whole Metallica thing, we went to Kansas City. Wait, no, it was St. Louis. Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay, this is kind of off topic then, but anyways, we played a qualifier at like one of the convention centers or the convention center in St. Louis. So, yeah, St. Louis.
Yeah, that convention center is attached to the dome that Metallica was playing in.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was gonna say. Thank you for.
I'm sorry, Anna.
We should flip it and say least favorite city for qualifiers and
Oh,
or
okay.
nationals.
I got
Yes.
mine.
Okay.
I
Period.
think everyone has the same one.
Can we all say it on three? One,
One,
two,
two,
three.
Wait.
I don't know. I don't know. I gotta think.
Oh.
But you guys go and say.
That could take
Okay,
a while.
so on three, I'm gonna interject on that one too. This is the least favorite.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh dad.
Wait, are we talking about qualifiers and nationals or just qualifiers?
Audrey's.
Oh, just travel.
Any kind of travel tournament, I guess.
Should be easy.
I've
Yeah.
got it in my mind. It's easy.
Oh man, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Then if it's that easy.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I know what it is.
Okay,
I
so
think
on
this is going to be a
three-
unanimous.
3, 2, 1.
Detroit.
Awful. Awful.
With the glass, when we went to go get pizza,
Yeah, the
it was,
Little
like,
Caesars had a
bulletproof glass.
Well, because
Yeah,
we
we-
weren't in Detroit. I forgot the town, but apparently I forgot exactly what it was, but it had the highest trade in like illegal weapons.
Personally, I really like Detroit.
Oh gosh. Why?
I mean, I wasn't at that tournament, but I traveled there recently, and I had a great time.
Well,
I walked around a lot of places.
Well, where we were at, we went down.
We were in Dearborn.
We were in
Yeah,
Dearborn.
We were
that's
in
what it was.
Dearborn. We went down the street to a pizza shop.
It was CC. No, it was
Little Caesars.
Little Caesars,
And it-
and
yeah, so it's behind bulletproof glass.
And they would like
And with,
slide
like,
the
bars.
pizza
And
in.
I
Yeah,
felt
yeah.
like I was in the car I was waiting, and man, I had
Mom,
to
me
look
and you-
around.
Yeah.
I just
We were sitting in the car waiting because Dad went to go get the pizza, and the person that pulled up next to us, when they parked their car, they opened the door and just hit our car,
For real?
and then just kept walking like nothing happened. But I was
Yeah.
too scared
you
to
didn't want to
like.
jump out and say, "Excuse me."
You don't want to say anything.
Well, because I remember we went around 4th of July, and so I remember it would be late, and kind of going to bed. I'm like, is that fireworks or is that gunshots? Because I do not know.
I
Yeah.
forgot about Vegas.
You just stole mine, Audrey.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I didn't get to experience the Detroit that y'all experienced,
Mm.
but I did. Well, I didn't go to Vegas for my own stuff, but it was for Angela's
Mhm.
nationals, and I really didn't like that.
yeah,
And we all
I
got
didn't-
sick after it.
Yeah,
That's when we got COVID.
Yeah.
Y'all got COVID.
And it smelled like
Whatever, Audrey.
weed.
I
Well,
didn't like.
It was
Vegas
4th
either.
of July in Vegas, so it was packed.
It was so packed. I
I
mean,
will say I've been there before, and when it's not a holiday, it's a lot nicer.
yeah, I'm sure.
But when it's a holiday and you're walking like shoulder to
It
shoulder,
was, yeah.
it's terrible.
I don't like Vegas even when it wasn't a holiday. But then again, I've been there for a month and a half, and I hate it.
It is expensive.
I hate it.
Oh, that's true. So, yeah, that's right.
And-
So,
Do you remember we had to walk to the convention center, and it was, middle of summer?
It's like 107.
Yeah.
Oh
really
my
And we
God.
stayed at that really old hotel.
yeah,
Yeah, no thanks. I'm okay.
Yeah, Vegas wasn't my favorite either. Just getting sick and the heat and Vegas. That was the first year that they had nationals there, and they were not ready
yeah.
for it at all. I just remember day one, you're in the convention center, and then
The lights went out.
half the lights went out, and they just weren't ready for it. Neither was Louisville that one time.
Okay, so I got a question for everybody. Let's talk about some of your most memorable moments on the court, whether good or bad, or just I don't know, maybe something jumps out. What is
I
it?
have one.
Okay, let's hear it.
So this was my 15 season, and it was nationals, so open nationals, and it was day 3, and so there's a challenge match, and so the winner of that match goes to gold, and then the loser goes to silver, and so that's always like the big day 3 is like the biggest day if you make it there, and so there was we had a rival team called Mad Frog, and we had played and lost to them 5 times throughout that season. And like we just did not have a good experience with their parents, and just it was a lot of tension.
And I think 4 out of 5 went 3 sets.
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, it was always close.
Yeah.
They just had your number.
Yeah, and so, and of course we got whooped by them, I think the game before, like the last game we played them. And so we ended up, honestly, I think it was God that really did, like, because it was like crazy how it worked out that we played each other for that challenge match. And they came in like super confident because obviously they beat us 5 times before, but we beat them in 2. And
You know,
that was like
the
the
weird thing
Cinderella
ab-
story.
the weirdest thing about that is that, I mean, several weeks, probably even a month or so leading into nationals, we talked about how that exact scenario,
That would be crazy. Yeah.
showing or playing them on day 3, just knowing that was going to happen. And you've got, what was it, I think 32 teams in open,
36.
36 in open. And the way, the way you finish on day 1 and day 2 and how everything just funnels everybody in different directions. Mad Frog was the number 1 seed in the entire tournament, and they finished
4th.
in their pool, which was shocking. So,
Yeah.
and that just, the way it happened, it just funneled them right into your path, let's just say. And I got to say, you destroyed them.
We kicked butt.
Yeah, it was awesome. Not that day, baby. Not
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah, it was great.
Hey, Audrey, what about you? Do you have any
Like
memorable
playing?
moment? Yeah, something as far as on the court.
I'd probably have to say my 16th year, we beat Skyline. Was it 3 times? Yeah, we beat them 3 times, and they were supposed to be like a real big team. They always are.
They're always the
They
team
always
to
are.
beat. Yeah,
And
for sure.
yeah, we've always had trouble with teams like Skyline and TAB, but we took them that year 3 times. And that year I tried out at Skyline, and he
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
pick me.
Rude.
And so I went back to my 16's team at Lone
Revenge.
Star, and we ended up beating them. I bet he was so angry.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Didn't
probably
he say something in the
probably
huddle?
felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm deciding between 2, so I'll go ahead and say both. I think was it Lone Star Classic when we played that Mad Frog team, and
What year? Which
was I 12,
It was
13?
12.
Yeah, because remember whenever I was serving,
yes,
I
I
just had a
do.
really good serving game,
Yeah.
and Coach Mike was really proud. And he pointed out kind of why my serves were so good is because there was an air duct that was like pushing, like directed at our court. And so with 12s being a lighter volleyball, like that air just pushed it. And so it kept like curving every direction, and they couldn't stop me.
No, I remember, man, you were serving really tough.
Yeah. No, I was proud of that one.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what year, maybe it was 14s, that one Texas Image game that we
Yeah.
had.
That was
What
great.
qualifier was that? Do you
That was
know?
nationals.
That was
Nationals.
nationals.
Oh, that was
That
nationals.
was a
Oh,
challenge match.
I should remember that. But yeah, that one was a good game.
Yeah,
That's all I gotta say about
what
that.
was awesome about that is that they had your number all year, right? Y'all always had a hard time against them.
Yeah.
You played them tough, but just
They always
couldn't
had
do it. And
us.
so y'all came up against that team, and it went 3 sets. And I, as a parent, I remember that moment because me and your dad at that during that match knew that was going to be your last tournament.
Oh yeah.
And so, you were just going to hang up the volleyball shoes and, do other things. And so, here it is. It's the 3rd set. And Stephen, it wasn't like, I can't remember what the score was, but Anna, you were coming up to serve. I mean, this was at the very end. And throughout the year, we just didn't know if you were going to make your serve because you were kind of on and off a little bit.
It was one of those serves where it was like, It was
No, it was-
It was a
really,
hot-
really good
It was
serve.
lethal.
Anna was
Yeah.
always in a high pressure situation.
Yeah, no, what happened here, let me rephrase. It just happened a lot where it was the last point for the other team and I had to go up to serve and I kept missing them. And it was a similar situation to where it was like, if I miss my serve, they win. And
No
that
pressure.
kept happening. And so, yeah, I had to explain myself. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, but Anna got up there and
You just turned around and looked at me, and we were like,
yeah,
please, not this time.
yeah, not this time. Not this time.
And she dominated. I mean,
Speaking of looking back at parents in the middle of games, when I was 13,
oh, yeah.
I went back to
The
serve.
daggers.
I don't know if you said something.
I did.
Yeah, you said something.
I said,
And I serve it in the net, and I look at you.
I'd be dead right now
When-
if you shot lasers out of your eye.
Yeah, so at some of these tournaments, you'll see the dads. They group together, and
Yeah.
they stand together, and they, you know, they're
Let's go first
living
pass.
they're living through their daughters. And so Stephen made a comment to Audrey as she's getting up to serve, and sure enough, she misses it. And boy, does she look at him.
And sometimes they stand too long and lock their knees and faint.
Oh yeah, let's take a moment and talk about
Now
that.
that is
I'd
a
like to-
funny story.
Now,
Let's hear that
okay,
story.
So
Yeah.
the details were a little off. I was sitting.
That's worse.
It was
Yeah, so this was Angela's 15th year
15s.
playing Dallas Skyline, and
At a qualifier, it was
was-
a
it
big
was
match.
the gold pool.
Yeah.
It was the gold pool.
and I'd like we called it the death pool
Yeah,
because it was like
y'all, Skyline, Houston
Houston Skyline,
Skyline, and then that little
an
XL,
XL
team.
team.
Well, and Houston Skyline won nationals that year. So, I mean, that's
Yeah, so it's like a
These
tough
are
pool
major-
to get out of. So
Bigger
every
topic
you have
there,
to
too.
win like every match.
Yeah.
And
so- So this is the gold pool, the death pool, and so you played your first match that night, and then you finish up the pool the next day. And so I would try to broadcast the games, but the signal just wasn't working that day. And so we had Fred who was recording the games, and I would do broadcast, but like I
Fred
said,
is another parent on the team.
yeah,
Just
sorry.
to yeah.
Love Fred. So Fred was recording, and I couldn't broadcast because the signal sucked. And so I decided I'm just going to sit down and watch this game. And so I'm sitting over there on the sidelines, and of course, I usually stand and I pace so that it allows blood flow, and so to go throughout the body. And but for this match, it was back and forth. What was the fun? It was a 3-set match.
It was like 18-16, something like
18-16, something like that. So when they scored that final point and we win, I jump up and none of the blood in my body decides to go with me to my head. And so I walked, and I think I was walking towards Suzanne.
That is another parent on the team.
That's another team parent. And I think I raised my hands up to give her a high five, and then I just fall flat of my face. I faint.
yeah. So, so all the parents sit right up there courtside, and so right after the game, you stand up and cheer, and everybody's just kind of walking right there. Steven comes up, and he's kind of joining the parents, and he I guess is giving Suzanne that high five, right? And it's like his hands keep going. And he falls on the floor. So he's laying there. And of course, Steven is a jokester. He is. And we all thought, oh my goodness, look at him. He's just
Being dramatic.
yeah, laying on the ground.
Uh-huh.
We're kind of laughing in a way, but
He's not moving.
but he, but he's just laying there, and sure enough, he had fainted. So
I'm pretty sure there's video proof of this.
There
too, right?
is. It is
there
hilarious.
is.
But like, cause I remember, everything was so hype, and we, were running on the court, and it was so exciting. And then I look over, and you're not moving on the ground.
Yeah,
and
her
so
dad is laying on the ground.
And so I start crying, and I,
Yeah.
I look back. I'm like, wow, that is such a Debbie Downer.
I'm sorry
in
to-
this major game.
I'm
that your
sorry to
dad-
ruin your game, Angela. But
Yeah, where did we find that video footage from?
Baller TV had it.
Yeah,
Because you can
Sorry.
see it on the side, and you like disappear. I think you kind of
it's-
disappear
yeah,
when
you
fall.
see him fall.
Yeah, and I if I'd have taken probably 2 more steps, I would have squashed Suzanne.
No more Suzanne.
Yeah. And so Mad Frog was on the court next to us.
Yeah.
I think they were already done, or they were watching.
Wrapping up. Yeah.
And I can't. What is Maddie's last name?
Morrow?
Morrow.
Yeah.
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 Her dad is also a paramedic, and so he happened to see what happened. And all I remember is we won the game. I stood up. Everything went black, and the next thing I know, I'm looking up at Maddie's dad, and I was like, "Maddie's dad?" And I heard the story of what happened to me, and so they
Yeah.
called. I think they got me one of those rascals or not wheelchairs, but those scooters, and I got to ride that back to the wherever they were had the paramedics and they were checking everybody out, and I ended up being okay. It was just I stood up so fast that the blood didn't.
Power of club
But
volleyball.
you felt though that same situation happening at later tournaments. You would catch it though. You would feel it.
Yeah,
And so you
and-
would be like, sit down, Stephen.
yeah.
Sit down.
So like the Mad Frog match that Angela mentioned in nationals, I had to sit down
Mhm.
for that one because I knew.
And of course, all the parents are, Stephen, sit down. You
Yeah.
need to sit down.
Yeah. So
Taking care of you.
yeah, so that's my fainting episode. Amy, do you have a favorite moment across all 3 girls, or just one that stands out?
Mm. Okay, so that's kind of a hard question because there's so many. Um, for each girl, there's memorable games, and I would definitely agree with Audrey on just Skyline, how y'all owned them that
Mhm.
year when you were 16. And Anna, I definitely agree that nationals tournament for y'all because y'all actually finished
I think
third.
Yeah,
Y'all
that was a
medaled.
They
great
were the
game.
first
Y'all
team to ever
medaled
medal at nationals
at
for Lone Star
nationals.
Volleyball
Mhm.
Club.
Because when y'all beat Texas Image, y'all won that first game in the gold bracket.
That was a good
And,
game
and
as
y'all
well.
beat
Northern Lights.
Northern Lights.
yeah, Northern Lights.
3
So
sets.
that was awesome. Yeah, so that was definitely one of my favorite moments. And then probably Angela, your 15's year because y'all medaled
Mm-hmm.
and got third. So beating Mad Frog that was
Incredible.
right up
Yeah.
there. But probably non-volleyball would be just there was a few qualifiers where all 3 of y'all would play at the same time. And so y'all were all in uniform. I mean, as a parent, that I love that. So
Yeah.
I was able to get, man, a good family picture with all of my girls in their uniforms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that means a lot to me. I love looking back and seeing all of y'all in your uniforms and how y'all all played together, and it was just a fun time, family time.
Yeah.
The whole tournament.
yeah. That reminds me of one picture we took, where I think we were coming back from church, and because Amy worked for Lone Star, we actually had a key to the gym, so we could go
I
in
know
there.
what this is.
And we wanted to get a team. I think it was maybe at the end of the season or something, and we wanted to get just a picture of all 3 girls. And
I was not happy.
the picture, for this picture we wanted them to look like they had a serious face, and when they look at it, they they look like they're angry, they're ready to go, but no, that anger was real, and I mean it was just.
I don't think I was that mad.
I don't think you, but
I don't. You
Surprising,
were
right?
so
Me and Anna
young.
were.
You were
Audrey and
happy.
Anna were just very put out and did not want to do this picture, and maybe I'll include this picture on our Facebook post when this episode publishes.
I wanted to take a nap. I
The
didn't
after
want to.
church nap.
Yeah, the whole after church nap thing is like a thing. Instead, no, we had to go up to the courts and change out of all of our clothes into all of our volleyball gear to take a picture. I just wasn't feeling it.
It's not even like a professional picture.
No.
It's just on a cell
And
phone.
then it would just be like the little things like, don't stand right there. And I'm like, oh, why? Why not? And I don't know. Anyways, yeah.
All right, so so that's we talk about pictures. That's the one that thing comes to
Yeah.
mind. Okay, I have one question. So y'all have both done this team rooms or not team rooms? Yes or no?
Yes.
They're okay. it kind of depends on your teammates and who you are with.
Yeah, I could
Because there's
see
been
that.
times where like team rooms are really fun, but then there's times where it's like I was like, oh no.
If you're in a room of 3, it's better.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
or
true.
some people that you're maybe not as close to, you know.
Yeah.
That's hard
Yeah.
for me to say. Like I only did team rooms 1 year, and I loved all my teammates, so it was fun. I do think you have more freedom if it's with your parents because you can just ask, "Oh, can we go here?" But team rooms, like you're stuck at the hotel unless the whole team goes out.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
I see it both ways.
Yeah, I
yeah,
like
for
both.
us, we were very fortunate in that because if you're doing team rooms, then your club dues reflect the club having to pay for the girls' hotels, and so that's baked into the cost of club. And if you're not, so if they're doing team rooms, you're paying for the girls to stay in their room, and then plus as a parent, you're also traveling to this tournament, and you've got to pay for a hotel for yourself. But we were fortunate in that Amy was usually the chaperone,
Mm-hmm.
so she had a hotel room to herself, and I would, leverage that and stay with her. So we were lucky in that aspect to be able to do that. So, all right. So, Angela,
Mhm.
Audrey, y'all are now coaching club volleyball. So, I guess a question for me is, do you view the game on the court differently now that you're coaching?
Yes.
Mhm.
Because I could see where, as a player, well, let me back up. I've never played, but now watching it so much, I can see how plays are developing, and I know exactly what a player is going to do on the other side. A lot of times, but I don't know if I would know that if I was actually on the court and watching the same play. I can see it from the sideline, see it happening, but if I'm out on the court, I don't know if I would see that. But can do y'all see stuff like that now that you're starting to coach and stuff? Does it frustrate you when someone dumps it on your libero or something like that? Just as one example.
Yeah. I think sometimes I look at it now and the weaknesses on other teams are so like obvious, and it's like there's no way we should ever lose to teams like this, I guess, because the weaknesses are so obvious. But I think, of course, as a player, it's more mental, and like you're, I don't know, just kind of the energy of it all, or I don't know. There's just a lot of other things that is going through your mind. But as a coach, obviously, you can focus a lot more on what the other team is doing, and it's frustrating because it's easier to read whenever you're on the side. So, like you said, a dump, falling on the ground. That I hate that.
Yeah.
Like I hate it.
Yeah.
So
I could, yeah. With you being a libero, that's especially going to be painful to see something like that.
yeah.
How about you, Audrey?
I feel like when you're playing and you're like 16 or 15, when a coach tells you what to do, you're just like, okay, I'll do
Yeah.
it. And then when you're coaching, you tell them something and you actually understand why you're saying
Yeah.
it and you know the reason behind it. And I just feel like you start to learn more as a coach and you understand the game a lot better than you would if you were like a player.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just kind of say yes, nod your head, then
Right.
you just go do it. But you don't know why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Do you like coaching the younger girls when they don't know anything and they're actually listening to you, or the older girls when they already know everything?
I like the middle.
There's pros and cons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Last question. Um, if you could do it all over again, would you want to get into club volleyball? Like, are you glad you did it? Do you view it that it was a good experience for you?
Yes, but I'd be a libero.
I'm telling you, liberos are the best.
Okay, so Audrey, you're glad that you went that route and did that and have those
Mhm.
experiences?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I also did it in high school.
Okay. Ultimately, when at least me and your dad getting you guys into club volleyball, we wanted y'all to have fun. We want it to be good experience. So,
Mm-hmm.
we hope that was. So, what about you, Anna?
I would do it again, but I think I ended right when I needed to.
I think so too. I think that
'Cause
was
after my 14th year. I was like, no,
no.
I'm good.
I remember Anna being in the car with you, and because tryouts were coming up. We're going to be coming up again soon, where people start thinking about it. And you were in your 14s year that year, and I remember I said, Anna, do you even want to play anymore? Like, do you like it? Do you want to still play? And that's
Yeah. No, I think it's fun, and I did enjoy it, but I
Yeah.
think if I tried to do it any longer, it would have left a bad taste in my mouth.
yeah.
So,
And it was taking up so much of your time, and so you have to want
Yeah.
that and
yeah, I wanted to do other
other
things,
things.
and
Yeah.
playing school was just enough to where I could, get on the court and play, but
Yeah.
not have to be so serious.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Angela, what about you? Are you glad we got you into volleyball, or
Yeah.
was that good for you?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think overall, when I do look at club volleyball, like it's a more positive thing than negative thing. I wish I did end it on a better note than I did club wise, but I think that's also where I I do like coaching because I want to make sure it's always fun for the girls. And so, like, even though I may not have ended on the best note for club, like, I don't know, like, I want to make sure all the girls that play for me or whatever are ending it on a good note
Mm-hmm.
if it is their last year, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right.
Okay, I think that's going to do it for us with regards to club volleyball. We hope you've enjoyed our little reminiscing session about a topic that's dominated our lives for over a decade. So thanks again for listening. If you have any questions or comments about the podcast, you can email us at podcast@hensonfamily.me, podcast@hensonfamily.me. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week.